God says, don't skip this message. You are about to understand why heaven smiled the moment you spoke those words. Something you said reached my heart, and the angels began to rejoice. The universe shifted the instant it left your lips, and I want you to know, I heard you. You thought no one was listening that day. You thought your prayer was too quiet, but heaven heard every word. The sound of your voice carried faith, and it touched the highest realms. You said something that most people never have the courage to say. You said, I still believe. Even after everything you lost, even after being broken, betrayed, and forgotten. You whispered, God, I still trust you. And at that moment, the angel stood still. Comment, God is with me if you trust his plan for your life. Heaven leaned closer. Because faith spoken through pain is the language of power. You had no idea, but when you said those words, something unlocked in the spiritual realm. A wall that had been standing for years began to crumble. A blessing that had been delayed started moving toward you. The moment you said, I still believe, you became a magnet for miracles. I saw your tears. I saw your quiet strength. And I said to the angels, this one understands love. You did not curse me in your sorrow. You did not walk away when life was heavy. You stayed even when you could have turned your back. You said, God, I don't understand, but I'm not giving up. And those words changed everything. Heaven celebrates not when you are perfect, but when you keep trying. And you, my beloved, kept trying. You pushed through exhaustion. You smiled while bleeding inside. You forgave people who never apologized. You chose light in the middle of darkness, and that choice made heaven weep with joy. You said, I surrender, and the angels whispered, it's done. That surrender was not weakness, it was power. Because when you released what hurt you, I could finally move what was holding you back. That day, when you said, I'll wait for your timing, heaven began rearranging timelines just for you. You have no idea what shifted behind the scenes the moment those words left your heart. The storm you thought would drown you, I turned it into a wave that will lift you. The delay you thought was punishment, it was actually protection. The heartbreak you thought meant rejection, it was divine redirection. You said something that made me stop everything and listen. You said, God, I'm still grateful. Type yes, Lord, if you open your heart to blessings today. You didn't have everything you wanted, but you thanked me anyway. And that gratitude became a golden key. Heaven opens faster for thankful hearts. You didn't realize that your quiet thank you shipped to heavens harder than any loud prayer. Because gratitude in the middle of lack is the highest form of worship. You said, even if it doesn't happen, I know you're still good. And that declaration rewrote your destiny. It erased generational fear. It broke ancestral patterns. It summoned blessings with your name engraved in light. My child, do you know what the angels did when you said that? They gathered around your name and began to sing. They said, this one remembers who the Father is, because your faith honored me more than any offering. You didn't know it then, but those words planted seeds in the soil of eternity, and they are starting to bloom now. That's why lately you've been feeling shifts, strange peace, unexpected signs, sudden calm. It's heaven answering back. I am proud of you. I am proud of the way you held your head high when people tried to break you. I am proud of how you kept showing kindness when no one returned it. You have carried pain with grace, and now I am about to crown you with glory. The test has ended, beloved. The waiting season is closing. Heaven is preparing your reward. And it all began the moment you said those simple words, I still believe. Heaven has a sound that rises when a soul chooses faith over fear, and your voice added to that symphony. You did not realize how much power your words carried that day, but they echoed beyond the stars. The angels heard your whisper and turned it into worship. They danced in light because faith like yours is rare. When you said I still believe, it was not just a sentence, it was a spark that reignited divine timing. Heaven's gates opened wider, and your name was spoken in rooms of blessing. God said, this one trusts me with no evidence. This one walks by faith, not sight. And with those words, I commanded new beginnings to find you. I released healing over the memories that haunted you. I sent strength into the places that felt hollow. Because your declaration wasn't just heard, it was honored. Every moment you stayed faithful built a foundation in heaven, and now that foundation is strong enough to hold miracles. Type 888 if you are ready for abundance and divine favor. You may feel tired, but don't mistake exhaustion for failure. Even in your weakness, your faith shines bright. When you said, God, I know you'll make a way, you invited divine order into chaos. The angels took those words and started rearranging circumstances in your favor. You didn't see it, but heaven was working the whole time. Every no that confused you was actually protection. Every delay that frustrated you was preparation. Every goodbye that broke your heart was redirection. You have walked through seasons of silence, but I was never gone. I was teaching you to hear me in the stillness. I was teaching you to trust when there was no sign. And you did. You whispered faith when your heart trembled. You chose hope when logic said quit. You said, God, I'll wait for you, and those words shook the heavens with power. Because that's what trust sounds like, stillness that sings. Your patience has not gone unnoticed. The harvest you forgot about is ripening right now. People will look at you and say, how did that happen so suddenly? And you will smile knowing that what looked sudden was actually years of obedience blooming overnight. You have been faithful in small things, and now I am releasing great things. You've passed tests you didn't even know were tests. You forgave when no one apologized. You stayed kind when bitterness tried to take root. You prayed for others while you were still hurting. You have walked in quiet strength, and now heaven walks beside you loudly. This next season will look different, not because you changed, but because your obedience did. You have aligned yourself with grace, and grace changes everything. Doors that were locked will open easily. Opportunities will find you without effort. You will be in the right place at the right time, not by luck, but by divine alignment. People who once ignored you will now be drawn to your light. They will sense something different about you, and that something will be my presence resting on your life. For a long time, you felt overlooked, but heaven was watching. I was saving your name for the perfect moment. You said, God, use me, and that simple request has now reached its appointed time. Every yes you gave me in silence has built a platform of glory beneath your feet. You have no idea how many angels are assigned to you right now. They are guarding your home, your health, and your hope. They are clearing paths that were once blocked. They are standing between you and every plot meant to harm you. You are divinely covered, divinely protected, and divinely seen. When you sleep, I watch over you. When you wake, I walk beside you. When you worry, I whisper peace into your thoughts. You are not alone. You never were. You just had to grow enough to see that. Your heart has grown deeper, your love purer, your wisdom stronger. You are not the same soul who started this journey, and heaven is proud of who you've become. I saw how you refused to let pain harden you. You chose compassion over cruelty. You kept your tenderness in a world that wanted to steal it. That makes you rare, and rare souls are deeply loved by heaven. You said, God, make me better, not bitter, and those words made heaven roar with joy. Because that's what I needed to hear, not perfection, but surrender. You asked me to shape your heart, and now I am shaping your world. Everything around you is beginning to reflect the peace within you. This next chapter will not feel like survival, it will feel like revival. Where you once struggled to breathe, you will now sing. Where you once begged for clarity, you will now walk in divine confidence. The fog is lifting, and you will soon see the masterpiece that I've been painting behind the scenes. Every brushstroke was guided by your faith, every detail crafted by your endurance. And now, your canvas is complete. It's time for unveiling. Heaven is rejoicing. There is movement in the unseen realm, and your name is being spoken with honor. You said words that touched the heart of God, and those words became commands in the spiritual world. The angels heard your faith, and turned it into action. You might not see it yet, but something sacred has already begun. Heaven has released the answers that were once delayed, and they are now finding their way to you. Each time you said, "I trust you, God," the heavens aligned one step closer to your miracle. Every time you resisted fear and chose faith, a chain in the spiritual realm broke. You didn't realize it, but your obedience has created ripples that are now returning as blessings. I saw the day you wanted to give up but didn't. I saw when you said, "God, if you still want me to go on, give me strength." And heaven replied instantly. Strength was sent, peace was released, and angels surrounded you. That moment became your turning point, because heaven always moves when faith is spoken through pain. You are about to witness what happens when words born from trust touch eternity. Doors will open that no human could unlock. People, you live in nature, in a banner charts, private to back sex sense, gentle youngest there, a length of trade, what software grows. One day come embedded dear can you come there, buying in the middle black lake under the bachelor, so that stuff is lies. Current individuals, spreads or crapbricks, the stapper-dated and tell-less-fied as people, were clothes, were attentive in bitterly matters, were the vitani, but the better categories, or down breath or another, fell cool red threaded, particularly theirs, with stappered red the beginners, with low live memory bears, that correctly command, you eat. Will come forward to help you without explanation. Resources that seemed out of reach will suddenly appear. That is not coincidence. It is divine orchestration. Every closed door was simply waiting for the echo of your obedience. And now that the echo has reached heaven, I am commanding every locked place to open. The blessing you thought was lost has been redirected, not denied. The love you thought was gone is being restored in a new form. The opportunity you thought expired is returning renewed and multiplied. I am a God of restoration, and nothing surrendered to me ever disappears. It transforms. What you said that day became a declaration of trust, and trust is the currency of heaven. With every word of faith you spoke, you made a spiritual transaction, trading pain for purpose, confusion for clarity, and fear for peace. You have invested in eternity with your words, and now the return is coming. When you said, "I still believe," you weren't just holding on, you were activating promises. The angels wrote those words into the book of remembrance, and heaven said, "Reward this one." There are miracles attached to your faith, and they are on their way. Even now, divine messengers are carrying your breakthroughs. Even now, alignment is unfolding where there was only chaos. Even now, peace is entering rooms that used to hold anxiety. You will soon feel a holy shift, the kind that cannot be explained, only felt. People around you will notice it too. They will see a calmness that cannot be faked. They will sense a strength that doesn't come from this world. That is me, dwelling within you more deeply than ever before. The moment you said, "God, not my will, but yours," heaven began a new creation in you. And that new creation will start showing through your life like sunlight breaking through clouds. You will wake up one morning and feel it lighter, peaceful, and sure that you are not alone. That's the sound of chains falling off your soul. You have been promoted spiritually, and the next season of your life will reflect that. You will speak and people will listen, not because your voice is loud, but because your spirit carries power. You will enter rooms and shift atmospheres, not by force, but by presence, because those who carry heaven cannot go unnoticed. Your faith has marked you. Heaven recognizes you as a carrier of light. And with that light comes authority. When you pray now, your words will carry more weight. When you declare peace, it will manifest. When you bless others, blessings will return multiplied. You are stepping into the kind of favor that follows the faithful. And this favor will not be temporary, it is covenantal. I am placing a divine covering over you that no darkness can penetrate. Every word spoken against you is dissolving, every curse reversing, every fear silenced. You are free, and not just free to survive, but free to shine. When I look at you, I see a reflection of perseverance. You have proven that faith still exists in a weary world. You have become evidence that pain can't kill purpose, and loss can't cancel destiny. Heaven is celebrating you because you are walking proof that love still wins. And because you have chosen love over bitterness, I am choosing abundance over lack for you. What once drained you will now refill you. What once broke you will now bless you. Even the places where you failed will become the places where I show my glory. People will ask you how you healed so beautifully, and your answer will become their roadmap. That's how powerful your story is. It will save others without you even trying. You are not behind. You are being launched. You are not forgotten. You are being revealed. You are not unlucky. You are divinely chosen. Every word you spoke in faith became a seed of transformation, and the soil of time is now giving them back to you multiplied. The next chapter of your life will be overflowing, not just with blessings, but with meaning. And all of heaven will watch with pride as you walk into it. Because when you said those words, those few simple, faithful words, you didn't just make God happy. You made heaven rejoice. Heaven is gentle when it restores what pain once broke. That gentleness is touching you right now. You may not see it, but I am healing you in layers, one memory at a time, one breath at a time. Every wound that once bled in silence is being washed in light. I am rewriting your past with peace. You do not have to carry that guilt anymore. You do not have to replay what went wrong. The mistakes that haunt you have already been forgiven, and the shame that chained you has already been shattered. You said, God, please make me new, and heaven responded, you already are. What you thought was an ending was actually the moment of rebirth. Every tear you shed watered the ground where new blessings now grow. The sorrow that once suffocated you became sacred soil. From it, I am raising beauty, purpose, and strength. You prayed for healing, but I wanted to give you transformation. You asked me to take away the pain, but I chose to make it holy. Because nothing you endured will be wasted. Not one heartbreak, not one disappointment, not one lonely night. Everything has been collected in heaven's book, and every ache is accounted for. For each wound, there will be wonder. For each heartbreak, there will be honor. For each season of loss, there will be laughter again. The healing is already happening. That's why you've been feeling strange peace in moments that used to hurt. That's why old memories don't sting like they used to. That's why your dreams have begun to feel lighter. It's because my hands have been touching your spirit in the quiet hours. Even when you thought I was silent, I was mending what you didn't have words to explain. I have been in the unseen, stitching light into every shadow of your story. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being rebuilt for something greater. The scars that once embarrassed you will become symbols of survival. They will not define your weakness. They will testify of your deliverance. You said, God, I trust you even with the parts of me that hurt, and that opened heaven's floodgates. Faith like that is rare. It reaches realms where miracles begin. Now you are walking through the season of restoration. You will see relationships healed, finances stabilized, and opportunities restored. You will notice people from your past reappearing only to bless you, not to harm you. You will realize that the same areas where you were wounded are the ones I am now redeeming. That's what divine justice looks like. I never just heal, I repay. And I am repaying you now, not in small portions, but in abundance. For every time you were misunderstood, I will make your name shine with clarity. For every time you were rejected, I will surround you with acceptance that feels like home. For every time you were betrayed, I will send love that is loyal and pure. Your heart will no longer flinch at kindness. Your mind will no longer expect loss when joy arrives. The curse of disappointment has been broken, and the pattern of pain has been erased. Because when you said, God, I forgive them, you didn't just free them, you freed yourself. Forgiveness is the healing oil that heaven pours upon the weary, and it has now touched your soul. You will sleep deeper. You will breathe easier. You will laugh again without fear. That is the sound of peace returning home. You don't have to chase closure. I've already given you completion. You don't have to prove your worth. I've already crowned you with favor. You don't have to look for validation. I've already called you chosen. You are stepping into a life that will feel lighter, not because the world changed, but because you did. The weight you once carried has been lifted, and the light you carry now will draw blessings toward you. Where you were once drained, you will now overflow. Where you were once ignored, you will now be celebrated. Where you once felt invisible, I will make you undeniable. The pain you carried has positioned you for promotion. Every test you endured has prepared you to receive more than you ever imagined. You prayed for small breakthroughs, but I am sending you abundance. You asked for healing, but I am giving you destiny. You desired closure, but I am granting you creation, a new life, a new beginning, a new purpose. This is why heaven is proud of you, because you said words that changed the atmosphere, and then you lived by them. You said, I still believe, and you kept believing. You said, God, I'll wait, and you kept waiting. You said, I trust you, and you never stopped. Those words built a bridge from where you were to where you're going. You have crossed it now, the bridge between pain and promise. You are standing on holy ground, even if it still looks ordinary. You are in your healing season, and it will not end until you are whole. I will continue to restore what you thought you lost. People will look at you and not recognize the glow on your face. They will sense peace and wonder how you survived, and you will say softly, God healed me. That will be your testimony, and that testimony will heal others too, because heaven doesn't just heal you for you. Heaven heals you so you can be a lighthouse for those still in the storm. Your light will reach places your pain once did. You will carry grace into dark spaces, and those who once mocked your faith will soon ask you how to find it. This is the reward of endurance. Heaven is proud of you, and heaven is not finished yet. The same God who healed your past is preparing your future. The same voice that called you through the storm is calling you into your blessing. And very soon, you will understand why it all had to happen the way it did. Heaven is still singing your name. Every time you breathe a prayer, the sound rises like incense before the throne. You may not see the angels, but they are surrounding you now, rejoicing because you refused to give up. When you chose faith, you awakened joy in realms that never sleep. The light within you has become brighter, and heaven cannot stop celebrating. Do you know what happens when a soul keeps believing through pain? The universe itself shifts to honor that endurance. The winds change direction, the storms begin to bow, and time starts aligning with divine order. That is what's happening for you now. You have entered a season of divine acceleration. Things will begin to move quickly. Where doors once stayed shut, they will open without resistance. Where people once doubted you, they will now speak your name with respect. You will not need to chase anything. What belongs to you will recognize you. The blessings that were circling above you are descending. I have commanded restoration to locate you. You will see divine appointments unfold, moments that seem random but are perfectly planned. Each meeting, each message, each opportunity is part of heaven's choreography. The angels are orchestrating the details so nothing is missed. You are being positioned, not by chance, but by calling. I am setting you in places where your light is needed. Do not shrink when you feel unqualified. Grace has already gone before you. You will speak with wisdom you didn't know you had. You will act with courage you never practiced, because my spirit will move through you, guiding every word, every step, every heartbeat. You said, God, use me, and now I am. This is the answer to that prayer, not someday, now. The gifts that were sleeping inside you are awakening. Creative ideas, compassion, leadership, discernment, all rising at once like dawn breaking through. People will come to you for comfort and truth. They will feel peace simply by being near you. Do not hide your light. It was never meant to be hidden. I did not bring you through darkness so you could stay silent about the light. Tell your story. Share your testimony. Each time you speak, chains will fall from someone else. You will heal others just by standing in authenticity. That is ministry, not performance, but presence. You are the presence of heaven walking on earth, and that is why the enemy tried so hard to silence you. But he failed, because you said the words that made heaven proud, I still believe. Those 4 words broke his grip forever. Now, the same mouth that spoke faith will speak power. Your words will carry healing. When you pray, miracles will follow. When you declare peace, storms will still. When you bless others, favor will multiply around you, because I have placed authority in your tongue and light in your heart. Walk in it. Every day from now, wake up knowing you are divine evidence that faith works. When you walk into a room, carry love like armor. When you face uncertainty, remember, you are guided, not guessing. The same God who started this work in you will finish it beautifully. You have entered your fulfillment season. Things long delayed are now being delivered. Heaven's timing and your readiness have finally met. And nothing can stop what is unfolding. The joy you lost is coming back stronger. The peace you prayed for is becoming permanent. The love you thought was impossible is on its way, real, gentle, heaven-sent. I am rebuilding your life with better materials this time. Truth, peace, faith, and love. Every part of you that was once broken is now being used to build something unshakable. And soon, when you look back, you'll see the pattern. Every setback was strategy. Every delay was design. You will smile and say, it all makes sense now. And I will whisper, I told you I was proud of you. Because I am. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are celebrated in heaven. Your name is written in light, surrounded by songs of joy. Every angel knows your story, and they marvel at your strength. They call you the one who kept believing, and that title will follow you for eternity. So keep walking, beloved. Keep trusting when the road turns unfamiliar. Keep speaking life, even when the world speaks fear. For every word of faith you utter, heaven builds a bridge ahead of you. And soon you will cross into promises you once only dreamed of. There will be laughter in places that once held tears. There will be family where there was loneliness. There will be abundance where there was loss. Because I am faithful to those who are faithful to me. And you have been faithful. Now I'll show you what that means. Watch how I turn your why into wow. Watch how I transform confusion into clarity, heartbreak into holiness, waiting into winning. You will stand in awe of what I've done, and you will say, this could only be God. That's when you'll understand your faith didn't just make me happy, it invited me closer. I have drawn near to you in this season, closer than breath, closer than heartbeat. When you feel warmth for no reason, that is my presence. When you hear peace in silence, that is my voice. When you sense calm during chaos, that is my hand holding yours. I am not far away, I am right here, and I'm not leaving. You've built something sacred between us, a covenant of trust. That covenant cannot be broken by time, people, or circumstance. You are mine, and I am yours. That truth will never change. Now lift your head. Smile again. Walk with assurance that heaven has already gone ahead of you. Every step you take from now is blessed. Every door you open will lead to purpose. Every prayer you whisper will return answered, and every person you meet will see me in you. That is your calling, to carry love where the world has forgotten it, to bring hope where hearts have gone cold, to remind others that faith still moves mountains, because you've seen it do so. And as you do, your blessings will multiply beyond measure, for I have prepared more for you than you ever imagined. More peace, more joy, more divine surprises wrapped in timing so perfect you'll cry when they unfold, because I love you, and I am proud of you. The words you said made heaven rejoice, but it's the life you live now that keeps heaven singing. Never doubt your worth again. Never question your path. Never think you are alone. You are chosen, cherished, and covered forever. Now breathe, beloved. The season of struggle is ending. The season of glory is beginning. And as this message closes, heaven remains open over you. The angels are watching, smiling, guarding. The light around you is unbreakable. And my promise to you stands eternal. You will see goodness. You will walk in peace. You will live in joy. And every word of faith you ever spoke will return as blessing. I am proud of you. You are my masterpiece. You are my beloved. And your story has only just begun. Go now in light, remain in grace, and let your heart rest in the certainty that heaven is smiling. Amen. Sparkles end message/outro for YouTube narration. If this message reached you, it was meant for you. Heaven guided you here for a reason. Let these words live in your heart, and remember, faith is never wasted. If you felt peace, if you felt seen, if you felt God near, stay connected to this light. Listen to the next divine message waiting for you. It carries more comfort, more revelation, and the next chapter of your blessing. Heaven is not finished. It's only beginning. You are loved, always. Amen.